Together with Fred Kemp, President and CEO of the Atlantic Council, let's try to make sense of all these stories. First, let's discuss Musk. I suppose geopolitics is now Fred's order of business. Why not? Yes, it's raining, traffic in New York is bad, and it must be the UN General Assembly. However, it appears that Elon Musk is the person who all of the state leaders in this area would like to meet. He has 6 gigafactories, 1 in China, 1 in Germany, and 4 in the US. He is also considering opening one in Mexico. He therefore spoke with Erdogan. Erdogan is interested in obtaining one of these. The French, the Spanish, and the Italians are conversing with him. Turkey is particularly fascinating because it has a century-long relationship with Ford, but India may play a role in this. It can send to third nations, manufactures, and has a sizable population. It is accustomed to making automobiles. Thus, some people might enjoy that. One of the main reasons why investors are upbeat about their Tesla investment today is Elon Musk's extremely bullish forecast for Tesla in 2022. Come along as we examine Tesla's largest production goal and the means by which the carmaker will accomplish this amazing achievement. Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, has been known to suggest that the electric vehicle manufacturer might create up to 20 million EVs by 2030. Tesla produced 35,000 vehicles in 2014, and by the end of 2030, it hopes to have produced 20 million. That represents a 571-fold rise in car production over the previous 17 years. In actuality, if Tesla manages to reach that milestone this year, even at a run rate of 2 million vehicles annually, that will represent a 57-fold increase in vehicle manufacturing in 10 years. Therefore, although the 2030 goal appears somewhat unrealistic, it is actually a very attainable goal. In this video, we'll examine the likelihood that Tesla will produce up to 20 million electric vehicles by 2030, as well as a few of the driving forces behind that potential. Let's get started. George, can I afford to be creative? To what extent does Tesla and other potentially non-union manufacturers benefit from the UAW strike against the Big Three? Since Tesla and even Rivian do not have union employees, we believe that this strike may benefit these businesses. In addition, there are other options available to persons who require cars but are unable to obtain them. Both a Tesla and a Rivian are options. Furthermore, we believe that electric cars are simply more effective automobiles, even in spite of some pricing differences. Therefore, if this strike continues, it may help the two companies we cover, Tesla and Rivian, with the deployment of electric vehicles. Does it help other American producers that are not members of a union? Toyota, Mercedes, BMW, and so on. Even though we don't cover those, it might still benefit them in some way. George, it's strange, but a lot of the EV names are down right now. Indeed, it's true that individuals had previously predicted the favorable effect they might have. Additionally, as the discussions are dynamic and we don't actually monitor performance on a daily basis, we have no idea what might be affecting the stocks at any given moment. However, we believe that these EV upstarts, like Tesla and Rivian, should gradually gain market share over time. Additionally, their results ought to be enhanced by their newly acquired infrastructure and their capacity to construct a vehicle from the ground up. There is some truth to the 20 million figure. In order to slow down climate change, the approximately 2 billion cars that are currently on the road must all be replaced by electrically driven vehicles. According to Musk, there will be about 20 million electric cars, EVs, if only 1% of the 2 billion automobiles on the road are replaced annually, and he wants Tesla to produce each of those. Approximately 1/3 of all EVs manufactured now are Tesla vehicles, which is significantly greater than the combined output of automakers like Toyota and Volkswagen. Hey everyone, happy to be back at Tesla tomorrow. The Nevada-based Gigafactory for Tesla was constructed in 2014 and is currently operational. By 2020, the carmaker only intended to produce 500,000 vehicles, and only the Model 3 and Model Y met that target. That was a 14-fold growth in just 6 years, despite the doubts of many that Tesla could ever accomplish this. Using the same reasoning today, Tesla would need to grow its production 11 times in 7 years to reach 20 million vehicles by 2030, which is still a fairly cautious number given the company's current production of 1.8 million vehicles this year. Thus, we think Tesla should be able to meet its 2030 target based on its historical growth. Tesla can cut costs by 25% and still meet its annual target of 20 million vehicles. Nonetheless, there are a few requirements that the carmaker must meet. Let's examine a few of them. But before we do, please make sure you subscribe, press the like button, and enable post notifications if you enjoy this kind of content so you can stay updated on all things Tesla. Tesla has to build more vehicles, more specifically, more types of vehicles, rather than just cars if it is to reach its 2030 production target of up to 20 million cars. Elon Musk has even stated that 10 different car types will allow us to attain the 20 million electric vehicle goal. Tesla's heavy-duty semi-truck has entered pilot production in Nevada, and the company anticipates that its Cybertruck pickup truck will start production in the Austin Gigafactory by the end of 2023. The carmaker has already revealed plans to produce a next-generation, less expensive car in Mexico and Nevada. However, details regarding the product's release date are still hazy. Tesla has to create a number of new car models in order to produce 20 million vehicles annually. Given that the Model S is 11 years old and the Model X is 6, they both need to be replaced or at the very least given major improvements. The Cybertruck and the Semi, the next generation of vehicles, are already in development. Therefore, Tesla may reach this goal even in 7 years if it can continue to produce cars. In a similar vein, Tesla's gigafactories, or production sites, will be essential to taking this figure into account. By 2030, there would only be about 6 million cars produced overall, assuming that each of these current gigafactories and the new Mexican factory could produce up to 1 million cars annually. Additionally, traditionally, it has taken Tesla 3 years to move its car manufacturing facility and make its announcement. Although reaching 20 million by 2030 is a respectable goal, Tesla will need to construct 12 to 14 additional gigafactories between now and next year in places that will not be disclosed in order to make the 2030 deadline. The construction of each of those factories must begin by 2027, or 4 years from today. It's interesting to note that production of Tesla's upcoming models will likely take less space, and advancements should occur more quickly than with the company's current models. Let's discuss the raw materials and minerals required as well. By raw materials, we mean the quantity of raw materials that will be available in 2030 for the construction of lithium-ion batteries. Car makers all over the world are rushing to fulfill their projected needs with long-term contracts and the acquisition of mining firms to assure their supply, and one of their main concerns is lithium production. Even if Tesla is already a formidable rival in this market, it will need to acquire the majority of the global battery supply, including the raw material supply, if it hopes to produce 1/3 of the cars on the road by 2030. Even if battery technologies that require fewer materials to generate the same amount of energy are being developed, by 2030 they will not be widely used. You inquire, however, about demand. In 2030, will the world's population be large enough to support a Tesla? Since supply is simply the given price a customer is willing to pay for a commodity, we assume there will be. During Tesla's Investor Day, Elon Musk stated that a lot of people want to acquire a Tesla. Though most people can't afford one, they still want them. And for that reason, Tesla is working to reduce expenses and raise the price of its vehicles. The carmaker has discovered that tiny price reductions significantly boost demand and that pricing is crucial. As the price of a car gets closer to $20,000, affordability also increases exponentially. A Tesla may be purchased at that pricing point by almost everyone in the US and many other countries. Therefore, Tesla shouldn't have any issues with demand.